CIKGU AZIZAN discharged on charge of assaulting student. Hello and good afternoon. I'm MOHANAAPRIYA. Welcome to News on 2. Teacher AZIZAN Manap, 44, who made headlines for being accused of slapping a student in April this year, was given a discharge not amounting to an acquittal by the Seremban Magistrates Court today. The move was greeted by cheers by hundreds of CIKGU AZIZAN supporters who had amassed outside the court. Magistrate Muhammad Zaki Abdul Rahman made the decision after Deputy Public Prosecutor Hazilia Muhammad revealed that the prosecution had received instructions from the Attorney General's chambers to withdraw the charge. According to the charge sheet, AZIZAN, who teaches at Sekolah Kebangsaan Taman Semarak Nilai, had allegedly assaulted an 11-year-old pupil at the school's assembly area on April 6th. Malaysian products, including palm oil, will get better access and lower tariffs in Sri Lanka following the setting up of a free trade agreement between both countries. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak said both countries have restated their commitments to finalise the negotiations for the FTA as soon as possible. Datuk Sri Najib said one of the benefits for Malaysia will be better access to the Sri Lankan market, and one of the products is palm oil. He said that Sri Lanka currently imposes certain duties on Malaysian palm oil.
One of the benefits would be better access to the market here in Sri Lanka. One of the products is palm oil. Palm oil has got certain set of duties that has been imposed by the government. So if we include that as part of the FTA, we will have better access of our palm oil, CPO and palm oil products into the Sri Lankan market.
Speaking to Malaysian reporters during his working visit to Sri Lanka, he hopes the FTA can be finalised as soon as possible. Bilateral trade between Malaysia and Sri Lanka grew by 13.6% to $499.1 million or 2.036 billion ringgit from January to September this year, compared to the same period last year. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Najib is scheduled to arrive in Maldives this evening for a two-day official visit. The visit is expected to set the future direction of cooperation between Malaysia and the Maldives. The Prime Minister's trip is at the invitation of Maldives President Abdullah Yameen Abdul Gayoom. The Prime Minister will be accorded a state welcoming ceremony followed by a one-to-one meeting with Abdullah Yameen. It will then be followed by a bilateral meeting with the delegations from both countries. Both leaders will witness the signing of 4 Memorandum of Understandings, MOUs, between the two countries on the establishment of a Maldives Culture Centre in the field of health, firefighting and rescue and higher education. The Energy, Green Technology and Water Ministry will implement the Green Technology syllabus in Secondary School Standard Curriculum or KSSM by year 2020. According to Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Maximus Ongkili, such a move is to create awareness and foster a green lifestyle among students. Datuk Sri Dr. Maximus said that the ministry, through the Yayasan Hijau Malaysia Ya Hijau, in collaboration with University Science Malaysia Centre for Education, Training and Research in Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, C3, and the Education Ministry, will review the curriculum content linked to the use of green technology. The green technology syllabus will be implemented into subjects such as science, chemistry, biology and physics.
Sedang berbincang dengan Menteri Pendidikan supaya first roll out boleh dijalankan pada tahun hadapan. Pihak kita terlibat untuk melatih lebih daripada 1,700 cikgu-cikgu, sudah guru-guru yang akan menggunakan silibus yang bakal dimasukkan dalam kurikulum kebangsaan tersebut.
Datuk Sri Dr. Maximus was speaking at the ministry's Christmas and New Year celebration in Putrajaya. Police have identified 3 mudroom pits believed to be responsible for beating up an ambulance driver near the North Taiping Toll Plaza at the North-South Highway Plus yesterday. Taiping Acting Police District Chief Superintendent Razlan Abdul Hamid in a statement said that the 3 men were identified based on information and description from the victim. During the 1:40 a.m. incident yesterday, a 53-year-old ambulance driver was wounded after being punched in the forehead after he reprimanded a group of Mudroom youths who were racing dangerously. A nurse who was taking care of patients at the back of the ambulance van tried to help but was knocked down by the youths who then ran off. Axiata Group Berhad's unit, Dialog Axiata PLC, which is Sri Lanka's largest telecommunications service provider, has bright prospects to increase its investment by another $300 million in the country as its license issue is being resolved. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak said the additional investment, which was held back due to the delay in the renewal of its license by the Sri Lankan government, could go ahead as the problem was being resolved through negotiations between both governments.
Selepas saya balik ni nanti, kita akan putuskan setelah saya dapat pandangan daripada Kementerian Perdagangan Antarabangsa siapa yang patut yang sesuai untuk dilantik, dan mudah-mudahan ianya dapat diselesaikan dalam masa tidak berapa lama lagi, kerana Axiata dan Dialog mempunyai kemampuan untuk terus meningkatkan pelaburan mereka di Sri Lanka.
Speaking in Colombo, he said the licensing problem faced by Dialog Axiata was raised during his meeting with Sri Lanka's President Maithripala Sirisena, and the head of state called for a special committee with representatives from both countries to be formed as a mechanism to solve the problem soonest. Axiata is seen to have the ability to increase its investments to about $300 million. Datuk Sri Najib made the comments after he was briefed on the issue by Axiata Group Berhad President and Group Chief Executive Officer Tan Sri Jamaluddin Ibrahim. The biocomposite industry recorded a 7% growth, reaching up to 4.57 billion ringgit from January to September this year. The growth is expected to strengthen Malaysia's position as the world's biggest exporter for biocomposite products. Plantations, Industries and Commodities Minister Datuk Sri Mas Yu Keong said that the potential for the biocomposite industry to grow is high, particularly in the timber sector.
Just in 2016, the biocomposite product export was more than 6.3 billion ringgit. That is nearly 29% of all the wood product export for last year.
He was met after officiating the opening of the Fibre and Biocomposite Centre owned by the Malaysian Timber Industry Board. The 80,000 square feet building provides a facility for the development of biocomposite products to promote as an alternative in the local furniture industry. With the local stock market showing signs of recovery, MIDF Amanah Investment Bank Berhad says a rebound is expected moving into 2018, aided by an expected relief rally post-14th general election. Despite registering positive foreign fund flows, MIDF Amanah Chief Economist Dr. Kamaruddin Muhammad Noor cautioned on the challenges to heed in terms of possible interest rate increases by Bank Negara Malaysia next year, as well as developments in the home country of investors.
Looking at other driving factors, if our economy is growing as what we are experiencing now above 5.5%, I think what is being projected can be achievable within that period of time. If our economy is moving towards that direction, growing at more than 5.5%, I think within that 2020 to 2024 is within the achievable range.
Speaking at a media briefing on the 2018 market economic outlook, he expects the gross domestic product growth to moderate to 5.5% in 2018 from the forecast 5.8% growth this year due to the high base effect. The ringgit, meanwhile, is seen climbing to 3 ringgit 95 against the US dollar by the end of 2018, buoyed by the interest rate tightening by global central banks, especially the US Federal Reserve. Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB does not anticipate any hike in the electricity tariff until early next year. Its chairman, Tan Sri Mogi, said the rate is reviewed every 3 years and the last revision was made in 2014. Tan Sri Mogi said the utility company does not foresee major changes and it's still very much in the hands of the government to make that decision.
With respect to the tariff change, we do not anticipate tariff change coming January when the new timing for announcement is made. I don't think so. I mean, after that, who knows? But certainly not early next year, no.
He said this after TNB's annual general meeting held in the nation's capital yesterday. The current average selling price is 39.5 sen kilowatt per hour. On the outlook of coal prices, Chief Financial Officer Datuk Fazlur Rahman Zainuddin said it would likely moderate over the next 3 years and is expected to be slightly lower than the current high level. And that concludes this afternoon's edition of News on 2. In our top story today, US vetoes Jerusalem Security Council vote. Join us again at 7 tonight for more updates. Till then, I'm MOHANAAPRIYA, leaving you with a trailer clip of Star Wars, The Last Jedi, which rocketed to a debut of $220 million at the North American box office. Thanks for watching.
Untamed power.